So Galen, there was a Pokemon Direct. It was 7 minutes long.
What? Sorry, I felt like I needed to. Sorry, I may have had a coffee right before I started this, so I apologize in advance.
I have a nice green tea that I am drinking that's keeping me somewhat mellow yet somewhat caffeinated.
Oh, how nice.
Nice little Dyokta. Hello, my lovely starter Pokemon. Welcome to the Nintendo Everything Podcast, episode 18. I am your host, Oni Dino. With me, I have the most jovial Snorlax you've ever seen. It's Galen.
Galen.
That was like a thwomp from Mario.
You know what? If I was ever a Pokemon, I always imagined that I would either be a Snorlax or that's what I would sound like.
That was good though. It sounded like maybe you had thought about this before. That was going to be my follow-up question too, is like, what do you think is a good Pokemon that represents you? Not like necessarily the quintessential one, but you know, a good one that represents you. And I mean, I guess I nailed it.
Yeah, pretty much. I would definitely be a Snorlax. Oni, did I ever tell you that what my dream Pokemon costume idea would be? If I ever decided to do this?
I feel like you have, and hopefully it's not like weird and creepy.
It's definitely weird. It's not creepy though.
Okay, I can live with that.
I've always wanted to go to some sort of like gaming or anime convention and dress up completely as a Snorlax, go into like a medium traffic flow area and just lay down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should do that. I mean, like, I'm sure plenty of people have done that already, but still, who cares?
Yeah, you know what? Go with the classic.
So for me, I think maybe a Psyduck is appropriate, just because of the crazy anxiety that he has, and he's like, hold on, first step, frickin' panic!
Oni, I have to know, if you became a Pokemon, not a specific one, a specific Oni Pokemon, what would your Pokemon noise be?
I don't know. Maybe it would be like kind of cute.
Yeah?
Yeah, something like Dino, something like that. Except that that's not a cute sound. I don't know.
You know what?
I would have different
like it.
vocal cords. Speaking of Pokemon, there was a friggin' Pokemon Direct this week. I don't know if you heard about it, but the whole world's talking about it, of course.
Nice.
So, we're going to be talking about Pokemon this episode, Pokemon, and then some more Pokemon, because there was also a Detective Pikachu trailer, and then some other nonsense.
Get out your Game Boys, get your To Be a Master soundtracks ready, and, you know, let's go for it.
Yeah, but you don't have to be the very best, just your own best, and everybody's best is slightly different, so you just do your own best.
But you still have to be a master. Pokemon Master.
Pokemon. So before we talk about all the news in the Pokemon Direct, let's get going into our adventure logs. Now, Galen, why don't you tell me a little bit about Tetris 99?
I could.
Whoa! What's happening?
How about let's talk about your
This
stuff
is not
first.
an explicit podcast. You can't start off with those sounds.
No, you know, Tetris 99, and it's a game, and it totally doesn't cause, you know, rage-inducing switch-breaking tendencies within me.
Is your Switch broken?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
No, I've been playing some Tetris 99, and I've been a pretty avid puzzle gamer. Tetris is definitely in my wheelhouse. Oh my God, I have wanted to hit my head against the wall so many times playing this game.
Why is that?
I don't like losing when it's not my fault, and this makes it my fault, and it infuriates me that it does.
Maybe they should be calling this for you Tetris: Indignation.
You know what? I would still play it. That's the worst part of it. I am a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, you are.
No, I continuously get to like top 15, top 10, and then just like everybody seems to gang up right at the last second, and all of a sudden I've got, here's 14, 15 gray blocks that appear out of nowhere. Oh, you know how you were building up stuff? Too bad. Start again. After playing this, I was observed visibly shaking with just like, it's fine, I'm going to do one more match and it's going to be okay. Don't mind the blood vessels that are rushing to my eyes right now.
I feel like that is not the proper path of rectification, which doesn't sound as painful as it really is. Wait, no, the other way around. It isn't as painful as it sounds. Rectification? Is that a word? Ugh. I'm spicy today. I don't know what's going on with me.
I am not Googling foo that one, because last time I checked my safe filter was off, so...
Gross, what? Anyway. Already, I'm just apologizing for my performance in this podcast up ahead of time. Yeah, so you haven't gotten your chicken dinner, your chicken Tetris piece, right?
I have not ascended to the plane that is Tetramino Enlightenment. I am still a student in the ways of the T-spin, and it bugs me. It bugs me so much because I know I can do better, but all of a sudden it's like, warning, 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 and I'm dead.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely the worst thing for me. That just, normal Tetris is already too much pressure for me. I don't like being put on a timer or something like that. I don't like having people push me at their own pace.
And it was like the first 5 or 6 matches until I realized I can actually sort of aim where my attacks go out to. So I just realized, I realized way too late that there was this whole nother level of strategy that I was just completely overlooking this entire time.
Yeah. So I've been hearing, I read a really great tweet about this. Don't remember where it came from or if it was even a tweet, but whatever. It's been passed around the internet a whole bunch of times. I don't care if I don't give proper sources. Anyway, the tweet was great. It said there's these people that have been secretly awaiting this and they didn't even know it for their whole lives, preparing for this moment. And Twitch streamers, super young, 20-year-old Twitch streamers or whatever, are getting blown up on this by people called Eileen and Love My Kid 72. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Because all the Tetris hardcore people that I know, all were playing Tetris and Dr. Mario on the NES, and that's how they got addicted.
Oh god, absolutely. My freaking grandmother plays Tetris.
Oh.
And we occasionally, whenever I go over to visit, we compare high scores because she has this little Tiger Electronics version, handheld, and she's had for, oh my god, 2 decades, I swear.
That's cute.
Yeah, we just pass it back and forth and go for high scores on that. It's so bizarre.
No, that's not bizarre. That's cute. That's cute, and it's good for elderly people, especially keeping the mind going, keeping the mind working, solving puzzles. So, other than my own rage-inducing moments, Oni, what have you been playing lately? So I did play, in fact, Daemon X Machina prototype missions.
About time.
Shut up.
What'd you think of it?
This demo is really meaty and really long. It's you could play this in a couple of hours, but I mean, most people I think will play it in 3. There's 4 missions to it, and they build up with difficulty. That last mission, really difficult. Really difficult. I am not good at the game. I just, yeah.
So I haven't played it myself yet. How does it feel? How does it control? So, okay, well, when you first start out, you make your own character. There's a create a character kind of thing. And even in the demo? You create your own person. There's very few options, which I'm sure is going to be expanded on in the actual release as opposed to the demo. It's probably just a demo thing right now, right? Yeah. You customize your character, and then you're eventually going to be getting augmentations for your character that are little buffs, your level up skill tree, but it also changes the way that you look too. So if you get some sort of, I don't know, it increases your lock-on ability, then your character's eyes go super white. And I like that kind of thing because it's specifically telling you that you are physically modifying your whole body or something like that. It's cool. I enjoy that bit of, it's not just oh, suddenly you have powers. It's no, we're doing surgery on you. Now you have big gross feet. That kind of thing. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. Feels like everything has weight, which is good. And then I just found out too that you can customize
how long it takes you to land or speed up or move based on your weight. So you can customize, theoretically, how fast you go and how much defense you have. So if you're a tank, then you're going to go slow and that kind of thing. So I am looking forward to the full game to see all of the different options that you have there. I like it, but there are some things definitely that I would love to see changed.
Okay.
It's a little bit hard to tell when you're battling who is friend or foe. Now, there's a lock-on thing that happens, and it's clear, but it's just that there's so much other stuff going on the screen, and like it's high packed. High packed? What?
High energy. High
energy.
Are you thinking of high octane?
Maybe high octane. It's fast paced. It is a fast paced energy packed.
Gotcha.
No, what? Oh, moving on. It's fast paced. A lot of stuff going on.
The game is exciting and visually and auditorily overwhelming.
It is a bit overwhelming, yeah. So I know it's going to take me some time to get used to it. You can customize, like I said a couple of podcasts ago about the HUD and everything. You can customize everything, not just like turn it on and off, but like move it over and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love that. So I'm looking forward to get like real super nerdy about that kind of stuff.
Very cool.
But I wish that there was like a genuine like lock-on. It's only like you don't like click in R3 and then it locks onto the character and then you can strafe around him. I think like you could in Xenogears. Oh god. Zone of the Enders.
Yeah.
So I would like to see an addition like that where at least on like the bigger enemies, not the jobber enemies, I could lock onto them or lock onto a little specific point and not have to worry about, moving my camera around along with boosting, along with shooting my gun. I don't know, it just feels just a tad bit messy in terms of controls, but you can customize every single button on your controller, but I don't feel like that you should really have to customize too much. So hopefully they can work out those kinks. There are a whole bunch of like smaller complaints. So I don't know, I'm still optimistic on this game. Still looking forward to it.
So here is my big question. After playing the demo, has your opinion changed either for the better or for the worse in regards to this game? Or has it just kind of stayed the same? Like it just kind of reconfirmed your excitement?
It's about the same. It's nice to see how it plays. I guess my one thing is like not having like a true lock on so I can like, have a true fight with the heavier enemies, like the other mech enemies. I forgot what they're called. But like there's also a little bit in the story where they're just throwing like, vocab bloat at you. And I'm super sensitive to that kind of thing, so it might not bother other people, but for me, I was kind of like, ugh, can't we just, like, I don't know. It's creative. I shouldn't be down on it so much.
Well, it already sounds like a better mech flying game than Anthem, so.
Well, wait, do you fly mechs in Anthem? I thought you were just a person. You're an Iron Man.
You play in, like, an Iron Man type suit.
Yeah. This one is, like, genuine mechs, like big old hunkin' things.
Okay.
Like, big bigs. I was really surprised, though, I did want to say, about how much text and how much, like, story that they were throwing into there. And I liked that a lot. Yeah, it totally took me by surprise. It was a nice, unexpected touch.
Does the story seem, like, coherent or kind of convoluted?
So far, they haven't introduced too much of the story. They keep it a bit in mystery, which is nice. And so then it feels like, oh, okay, I'm learning about the world, as opposed to being, like, I don't know, overly convoluted.
Because one of the things that I've always noticed about, especially mech type games, ones that kind of revolve around almost a militarized aspect, is they super go onto the D10 about like the morality of a soldier and stuff like that. And I feel like it's a little overbloated and a little almost tropish.
Yeah, at this point it does not feel overwritten. So that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to not read more about that, the world building and whatnot.
Like, I definitely enjoy a deep, well thought out world, but I don't want a world that takes itself way too seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was some fun characters in just the demo. There was a guy named Artist who is probably my favorite. And each character has like a code name, and they belong to like a faction or something like that. And they all have interesting names like Artist, Savior, Reaper, but then the best one is named Guns Empress. And that's a good code name. That's a real good one. And then each one of them has like their own symbol too that goes behind their text boxes. It's like a Smash icon. Yeah, it's nice. Oh,
That's
and
kinda
I
fun.
can't believe I haven't even mentioned this yet, but like the visual design of the whole game, right? It's super, super vibrant, lots of colors, and I think that style works for me.
Nice.
It feels like overstimulating you in a good way.
Well, I'm gonna have to download the demo myself and give it a try.
Yeah, why you haven't even downloaded it yet? It's free. It's a free. Like,
I
mini
know.
Demo.
I've
Just go
been
download
really
it.
busy lately. I've been so busy lately.
So busy that you can't download it while you're sitting on the toilet. Like, come on.
yes,
It's the Switch.
Yes.
So everybody go and download it, because who knows when they're going to take it off the eShop, because it's like a prototype thing and it's clearly going to be changed by the time that it releases in summer. So get your hands on it now.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to talk about it too much, but played a little bit more Tales of Vesperia, got a little bit further into the game, and met some more characters. I'm liking it. It feels real good. The combat feels real good too. The characters aren't like super annoying. They're definitely tropey, but not super annoying. The only one that bothers me a little bit is the main girl, Estelise, and she's fine. She's just like the hopeful.
I feel like you've got some opinions.
Not really. It's just I've seen this character so many times, and she's just the hopeful like anime girl, and slightly naive but smart, and like she might have a secret ability, and I don't know, like she's meant to be like your magical waifu that you save, and I just don't care. But she's fine. She's fine. Other than that, I like the banter between the other characters. Your main character is like a ruffian kind of guy, and it's fine. It's nice. Battle system's real good. That's one of my favorite things about Tales games, is just how it always plays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm learning skills and I'm moving on, and stuff's going okay. I'm giving it more shots so that way I can see if it's good, because I've heard great things about this particular Tales game.
Fun. Very fun.
Yeah, that's about it for me. Now, let's not keep the people waiting any longer. Let's talk about Pokemon.
Pikachu!
So there's Pokemon Direct, and they finally showed off footage of the Switch game, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Because of course they're going to do two versions, right?
Yeah.
Can't believe that they're still getting away with it though, you know what I mean?
I feel like it's okay because it's Pokemon. Like anybody
That's
else
not a
up until this
reason,
point,
though, you know?
No. I think it's totally okay because it's Pokemon, and it is the one that started that tradition.
I wonder if it is the one that, I mean, it's the one that popularized it for sure. I wonder if it was the one that
Yeah.
truly did start it though, you know?
Mhm.
Anyway, I'm not taking umbrage with that, but I just want to say, standing on the sidelines being like, damn, you getting away with some stuff over there, Pokemon. You really is. You know?
Hey, look at it this way: if there's two versions, there's probably not going to be DLC.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird comparison to draw, I guess. Anyway, moving on. Don't want to get on that thing. What do we want to talk about first? There was nice little bits of information up in this trailer.
Looking back at my time on this podcast, I feel that I've been a little critical on the Pokemon game that is going to be coming out this year. And a lot of that has to do with the fact of me tempering my excitement because we knew absolutely nothing about it. We have been hearing that they were having struggles on invigorating the series and keeping it feeling fresh. Now that we actually have something, that hype is real.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm very excited. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. It still keeps that like Pokemon feel and that Pokemon aesthetic to it, especially the kind of like 3D. I don't want to call it cell shading because I don't think it is cell shading, but that anime-inspired graphic format for a couple of generations now.
Well, this one specifically looks like the engine that they started using with Sun and Moon. So it's not too new, but it's not old.
Not only just like the graphics of the people that were in the game, and just the settings themselves got me very interested. That shadowy, foggy forest. that they had in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The underground cavern with all the gemstones that were in there. Like, I actually wanted to go and, like, start exploring those areas. Like, I wanted to know more about that because I don't remember the last time I saw something like that in a Pokemon game.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you were the one who mentioned it a couple of episodes ago about wanting to have the game kind of keep true and reinvigorate that sense of exploration.
Yeah.
I got that from this trailer.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess I kind of... I'm not as excited about what I saw as you are.
Really?
Yeah, I like it. It's looking good. But I wasn't, like, super impressed by it. I loved the colors that they were using. I definitely loved that. I was a little bummed out that I was like, oh, it's the same engine or whatever
Yeah.
we saw before. Like, I don't know, I shouldn't be saying it's the same engine because that's a technical term in a broad stroke. It's just the same, like, graphical style as the last entries. So I was kind of like, that kind of stinks. And, I mean, it is still early footage. This game is coming out late 2019, so, you know, November, December, probably November. I'm sure they're going to be working on it and making it look nicer, but there were still, like, you know, 3DS-style muddy textures around. And I'm not holding that against the game by any means because this is still early footage. But I was kind of like... this looks nice and it looks like an upgrade, but kind of wish, like, it feels like they played it safe.
I can definitely see where you're coming from on that one, because where I think they really kind of push themselves is in the world that they were trying to create. Like, some of the subtle things of the lighting that they had in the game itself. I personally, I really appreciated that. And I feel like in a game like this, when you've kind of established yourself in an artistic direction, it's very hard to kind of break away from that and still feel organic and giving tribute almost to your previous history.
Yeah, I agree with you that they did put a lot of work into their environments, and that's honestly where I would like to see them putting the lion's share of their effort. Because I do want to feel like I'm exploring places. I do want to feel like Pokemon are around.
Yeah.
That's exciting to me. So I am glad about that. And I'm just optimistic. I'm hoping that there will be more improvements and stuff. Obviously, it's Pokemon. There's lots more systems and tons of new Pokemon that they're going to be showing off. So they only teased us a little bit. This was a teaser. And an announcement. So looking forward to hearing our next bit of announcements on this. Probably E3 is going to be like the next biggest dump. I don't think that we're really going to get too much between now and E3.
One question I did want to ask you, how did you feel about the setting?
Yeah, I wanted to move on to that next too. The Galar region?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's fine. I mean, it looks like Pokemon Abbott and Pokemon Costello. Pokemon Brexit.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where they were going to actually focus on this, because we've been really seeing the past couple of Pokemon games, like, branching out into other areas. I actually looked this up a little bit beforehand. The first, like, 4 major entries into the series, Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, Ruby and Sapphire, blah, 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 they were all focused on, like, different aspects and different areas of Japan. But right after those 4, when they started with Black and White, you went to, like, based on New York City, based on France, based on Hawaii. I thought basing it more off of the UK was a little bit interesting. For the longest time, I actually thought that they had based this more on Denmark, but I was a little bit wrong on that, and it stifled a little bit of the excitement in me, because I thought I was like, oh, well, I'm noticing these little bits and pieces on here, and I'm gonna crack this code. No, wait, I'm completely wrong. Oh, great.
That reminds me, have you seen Scottish Twitter and how they're reacting to the Pokemon?
No.
So, Scottish Twitter, apparently, there was an article on Kotaku even about it. They've been writing in colloquial, like, Scottish English that's a little bit more rough. You know, what is this person doing? Or like, oh, the person, like, I got 30 Pokeballs and the guy asked me if I want a bag. Like, of course I want a bag. But, like, in Scottish slang, and I can't remember any of it right now, so it's not even funny. But anybody who does not know about this, go check out the Scottish Twitter, or just type in Scottish Twitter Pokemon, and I'm sure it'll come right up. But I'm loving that. I'm loving that aspect of it. There's a whole bunch of like Great Britain joke Pokemon that they're making, like Big Ben, Biggest Ben, the Queen, and stuff like that.
Big Ben, Bigger Ben, Biggest Ben.
Yeah, stuff like that. And I don't know, I just like to see Pokemon shit posts. I just like it.
Each evolution of the royal family Pokemon line, just the ears keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Like a nose pass and
That's a joke from many moons ago, because of all of the inbreeding in a lot of royal families. Their like chins would get so big that they had trouble like talking and eating, and
yes.
like Galen.
Yeah. I do have trouble eating.
So anyway, yeah, I'm cool with that. I want to see more about how they do that. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, whatever.
One of the things I thought was really interesting was they didn't like expressly say, hey, this is going to be based on London, or hey, this is going to be
they haven't
based in,
confirmed
like,
it, right?
Glasgow. No, but one of the things that I kind of noticed was they had that etching into the mountainside that they had in that one scene in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
I actually looked it up, and there are actually some geoglyphs that are based in England. So,
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah, I just thought that was an interesting fact.
Yeah. Speaking of that, in the trailer, I really enjoyed a lot of the verticality and the hills that we were seeing. That is exciting, and like, ooh, what's over the hill? That kind of stuff.
So, on that note, I am actually a little bit worried about the map design.
Because it's so linear. Linear? Why where is my emphasis on my syllables going? Yeah, it is very much a linear design. So why I said it again. Anyway. Yeah, I had that thought too. So we'll just have to see how they play things out.
Yeah, and I'm also worried that they didn't have any like major bodies of water or anything like that other than what was on the side. And I'm just kind of sitting here going, I understand the geography and the topography of it, but I feel like that's always been a staple of acquiring some sort of water Pokemon to get past the point, or a certain point. So
Yeah, I would be surprised if they didn't do that though.
yeah. So this is just me overanalyzing the 2 minutes of actual footage that they showed us.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's cool. That's fine. That's what we're here for. We're here to BS about Pokemon. So how many Pokemon do you think that they're going to introduce? Do you think they're going to do like 50 or like 100?
I can see them coming out with like a good 100 or so.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. 100 new Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they're going to do that many.
Like, I was almost going to say 120, but I feel like that's stretching it.
I feel like they're going to do
more.
more, like closer to 50 than 100.
And see, I would be very disappointed if they only added like an extra 50.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I think most people would be, but the thing is, there's what, like 800 frickin' Pokemon right now? You got to balance all that stuff and make sure it all works together.
No, absolutely. Balance, especially when it comes to Pokemon, because, you know, the Pokemon fans will definitely use self-destruct if they hear anything otherwise.
Oh,
but
that was a good one. Did you think about that before the
Yeah.
show?
No. And I'm actually regretting not saying explosion now instead of self-destruct, because explosion is definitely the more powerful move, but I digress. That's good. That's got to be an intro for us on the next episode. It's just, hey, y'all, you Voltorbs out there.
Now we're not using it.
Oh, sad. Okay, so they introduced the 3 new Pokemon.
Oh my god, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got your Fire Bunny, Score Bunny, your Grass Monkey type, Grookey, and your Water, not Mudkip, Sobble. You figure each of them are going to probably have like 2 evolved forms to it. So that's 9 Pokemon right now that are going to be brand new. In addition to that, you're going to have your probably like 3 chaser Pokemons, be the ones that you're just like, they're the legendary ones that start running around all the map that you have to go ahead and try to track down. In addition to that, you have your handful of legendaries that are actually going to be in there. you also have to have that other variety to go on there. I think saying 50 new Pokemon, I feel like that number is way too low.
I think it is too, but just considering the undertaking that balancing is, I feel like it's going to be more on the conservative side.
Well, you also probably figure that they're going to include the Pokemon Bank system, because they've been really kind of pushing that a lot for the past couple of generations, which means that they're going to focus on a core set of Pokemon to catch in the game, especially for your first playthrough until you get to like the end game part of it. I would guess that they would want to give you a variety of maybe about 100 to 120 Pokemon before you start resorting to going off of the Pokemon Bank and relying on the previous generations to import Pokemon into the game. And so,
but they don't have to make new Pokemon in order for that to happen. Like, they can make 50 new Pokemon, but I mean, say they have in the region, let's just say 200 Pokemon. 50 of those are new. 150 of those are ones from older games. They do that kind of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I'm hoping they go for a larger number, but that's me.
I'm hoping as well. But yeah, let's talk about the starters now.
Yeah.
Something that really bothers me is the grass starter Grookey. They call him a grass chimp or something like that, but he's got a tail. Chimps don't have tails, so it's very strange that they're calling him that.
I thought they called him a grass monkey.
No, they said chimp in the official press thing that I read, at least.
Oh, I'm gonna have to read that again.
Yeah, I mean, it should be monkey.
Yeah, I could have sworn they were saying that it was a monkey in the thing.
Maybe they changed it, but I definitely remember them at one point saying chimp, because I was like, why? I remember being upset about it. These are the kind of things I worry about in my life. I need to reorganize my priorities. This is unhealthy. God. So yeah, the hop bunny, what's it called? Hoppy Score
Bunny.
Score bunny. It should be Hop Scorch. I read that tweet.
That might be an evolution.
Hop Scorch?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Because you also got to think about the other ones that they're going to be coming out with in the later generations too. So. Yeah.
So first things first. Which team are you?
See, I'm torn because I'm not necessarily drawn to any of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I guess I kind of want to go for Score Bunny because fire starters have always been like my natural go-to. Which is odd because the very first Pokemon I ever got was a Squirtle. So
I would definitely associate you with being a water trainer.
Really? Okay, I can kind of see that.
Well, what do you think of yourself as?
One of those hiker guys with like
you do look like
four
that, yeah.
Geodudes and an Onix.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're a rock ground trainer. That's for sure.
Maybe a Machoke.
Oh yeah. Okay, for a little bit of a nice pepperin', nice seasoning of fighting, nice seasoning of speedos.
Help me lift those boulders and yeah.
So you're thinking Score Bunny?
I think Score Bunny because this is gonna sound really weird. I'm getting some weird like ode to Sam and Max feelings from him.
Yeah, I can see that.
The Grookey is weird to me because I feel like it's a very similar design to, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like an elemental chimp that they had in, I want to say X and Y, because there were the three brothers who had a gym, and whichever one you faced had the opposite elemental chimp to whatever your starter was.
I don't remember, and I played all the way through X and Y.
Yeah. They had a grass, a fire, and a water type, and it was all the same monkey, but it was like different names. They didn't have any evolved forms or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about now.
Yeah, because I had a couple of those.
No, that grass one.
Name? Anyway, go on. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Go ahead. The people are screaming. Whoever is listening to this, anybody is screaming at us right now. I'm sorry, but go on.
No, the Grookey gives me a lot of reminiscent feels of that, and it surprises me because it makes me like there are so many other ways they could have gone with a grass starter type. And then Sobble is just weird.
Okay, so your team
like,
Score
I've got
Bunny.
no other. Yeah,
that's your affinity.
Yeah, I think I'm doing Score Bunny this time.
So I think that I am Team Sobble.
Yeah.
I like him because of his upside down smile. It's not a frown, it's an upside down smile.
I see how you relate.
I do. I personified him in a tweet recently where Score Bunny is the kind of irrational one. He lights the ground on fire, and then Sobble pokes his head out, and he was like, "Oh God, we're gonna die!" and puts out the fire. And then he's a lizard, so he's being like a chameleon kind of thing. And, nobody look at me! No! And then like being like, "Okay, no, I can do this. Like, all right, here's my debut. All right, now smile." And that's his version of a smile, is that upside down smile. But I relate to him.
I love it. I love it so much.
I do like Grookey, but I don't know. I think I like Sobble better. To be honest, though, I don't think that any of their designs are particularly excellent. They've had stronger ones before.
Yeah.
They're not bad, but I think that they're just a little bit underwhelming. But we still have not seen any of their additional evolutions, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Although I do think it's funny that if I choose Score Bunny and you do Sobble, then you will officially be my rival.
That's true.
Yeah. Because I'm going to be... And I've already made that joke already. Never mind.
Yep. So I did want to mention, though, that, like, Sobble and Grookey in particular, both of those sound like children's, like, Danish children's words for, like, you know, the private parts. I don't know. So sorry to any of our Danish fans. Actually, one of our biggest locations in the Europes. The Europes.
Oh, I see you, Sobble. I see you've been eating your vegetables.
Oh my goodness, we can't do this. This is racist. We're not doing it.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
But you know, I used to do that with what game was I playing? It was probably X, where I got a Spoople. You know what those are?
A Spoople?
Spoople. It is like it's like the Metapod version of the
Gotcha.
bug Pokemon in the beginning, where you know, little bug, and then it becomes like the cocoon, then it becomes the thing. And so when I got the Spoople, for whatever reason, I was just like, "It's my Spoople. Would you like to see my Spoople? I will show it to you." I don't know why, but I couldn't stop doing it until he evolved, and I was like, "Oh, thank God that's over." that curse I hexed myself with. I'm so sorry, everyone. I told you I'm spicy today. It's weird.
To make up for it, I did a little bit of a Google Foo, and the Pokemon I was talking about before was Pansage.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Which evolved into Simisage.
That sounds like a lyric in a Missy Elliott song. Give you some Simisage. I love Missy Elliott.
Get your catch on. Final question. Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield? Which one are you going for?
Well, we don't even know what they are. If there is something...
First instinct, like, you see the titles, which one do you gravitate to?
I don't know. I don't. I'm talking about my starters. That's what I'm really gravitating to, is like choosing an affinity based on looks alone. It's just like the ultimate primal anxiety. So I have no idea. If there is something as crucial as the Alolan Vulpix, I will definitely go with whatever version has that crucial-esque version of an Alolan Vulpix.
No, and it's purely going off of, like, name and design on its own, because of course there's going to be so many factors that go into it.
Yeah, so I guess on that thought, neither of the icons do I like very much. Why did I say my sentence that way with the grammar? And that one too! Anyway, I don't, there's like a wolf thing on the top, so that's got to be indicative of some legendary or something, I think.
Most likely. One thing that I did notice was that the Pokemon Sword icon was blue, where the Pokemon Shield one was red. Kind of go into, like, the class. Well, okay.
You're not wrong. It's just, you have a fantastic way of speaking, Galen, where you when you talk, you have a way of putting importance in the words that you're saying. Now, when you're saying a sentence like that is so basic, it clashes with the lack of importance in the words that you're saying as opposed to how you're saying them.
Galen.
Dino. Okay, what were you saying?
Okay.
I forgot. I wasn't listening.
if you were basing it off of the colors that were associated with it,
Yeah.
I would have to lean a little bit more towards Pokemon Shield, because in my history of like what game in the series or in the pair that I've gotten in the past, I've always leaned more towards the red side.
Oh yeah, I guess I never really thought about that. Are you also choosing Pokemon Sword because you're more of an attacker and less of a defender?
Well, actually, Pokemon Shield was the red version, which leads me
Oh my god,
into...
it's exposed! I don't listen to you when you talk!
Yes, it was a trap! No, but I instinctively wanted to go for Pokemon Sword, and then I noticed the color differential between the two of them, and I was like, okay, let's try Shield.
Well, we still have lots of other factors to learn about, as in which Pokemon are in which version, and I hope that they do a little extra thing. Like, oh, this one has the secret dungeon, this one has the secret dungeon, that one. I'm sure lots of people will not like that idea, but whatever. I don't care. I'm not even like a Pokemon fan. I shouldn't even be doing this. I'll leave it to the experts.
Pikachu!
So we also got 2 Pokemon trailers this week. Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, which is looking like it's a remake of the original Mewtwo Strikes Back movie that was animated. This one's like a 3D CG kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then we also got a second trailer for Detective Pikachu. Did you check out these trailers, Galen?
I did. I watched both of them. I have to be honest, I'm more excited about Detective Pikachu than I am about Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Same here.
I feel like the Detective Pikachu movie has a lot more heart to it. I feel like it is realizing it is a movie about Pokemon with live action people. So
Yeah.
it's working with what it has, but it's like not begrudging the situation of it. I love Ryan Reynolds as the casting choice for Pikachu. I know some
he's
people
not
have been
bad.
saying Danny DeVito instead of Ryan Reynolds.
Well, that was obviously the number one.
I am 100% okay with Ryan Reynolds as the choice there.
Yeah, I like, from what I've heard. What?
Heard.
Heard what I've heard in the trailers. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds doing good stuff. I like it. It's cute.
Yeah.
And I like that there's so many Pokemon in it. They're not really talking about like, oh, this character, that kind of thing. Like, no, it's a movie about Pokemon and they live in the real world, and it's goofy. Like, that novelty will wear off, but I mean, there's a little bit of fun to be had there, so I enjoy that.
Yeah. I do have to be honest, I wish they had not have shown Mewtwo in the Detective Pikachu trailer, like near the end of it. I felt like that was... I'm starting to get a little tired of Mewtwo as a whole.
Yeah,
Like,
I know what you mean.
I'm sorry.
No, I know what you mean.
I've dealt with this weird not cat thing for over 20 years now, okay?
Yeah, he's like the king of not fun in Pokemon. You know, he's the serious one. Same thing with like Mewtwo Strikes Back. It was like, who am I? Who am I made by? For what purpose do I live? And it's like, I don't know, like, talk to the electronic mouse over there. Electric.
I feel like Mewtwo would be the edgelord who comes up to you, go, let me talk to you about IV training. And I'm like, no, nobody wants to actually talk about this.
Yeah, like, he's just the king of not fun. And you know what I like? Fun.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, I get it. I was just like, when I saw him in the trailer, I was like, yeah, sure, this idiot too. Go ahead. Like, you look good. Get in. Go ahead.
Switching tracks a little bit, going over to the Pokemon. Wow.
Oh my god, has anybody made that joke before?
Pokemon.
No, like Pikachu.
The Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution trailer. I don't like this. I don't like the CG approach that they're taking to everything.
Man, your voice right there, it sounded like you used surf. Your vocal modulation was just like up and down, riding the waves. You don't like the animation style, huh?
No, I don't. I feel it's very stiff. I feel it's very dated. I felt like it should have been a cutscene during like a Wii released game or something like that.
I can see that. I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
And my biggest problem is that anime content has gone so far, even for a very nostalgic series, to show how it can evolve, beg the pun, sorry for the pun, but how it can evolve with the times and kind of stay current. I'm going to use the latest Dragon Ball Super movie, the Broly one that they remade.
Oh yeah, I heard that was really nice looking.
The animation is absolutely gorgeous in it, and they were able to kind of retune the entire story to make it work. Like, it was basically retelling the same story that they did 20 so years ago, but it was such a fresh, new, fun take on the entire thing. And I felt like this was really a chance for Pokemon to kind of go with that and roll with it, but I feel like they super dropped the ball. And you look at the animation and the CG from Detective Pikachu versus this.
It's quite different.
It's like, why is there a difference? Yeah, it's so different. Why is there a difference?
Well, it's made by a different studio, a different animation studio. To give you your, boring answer.
I felt like they could have done so much more with it, and any nostalgic feelings that they could have capitalized on for me personally were dashed. Like, as soon as I saw that scene at the very end of the trailer with Ash and Misty and Brock, it was very much a letdown.
Interesting. I didn't feel anywhere near as strong. I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. The animation style's different from that trailer I just watched 1 minute ago, so whatever. I don't know. Didn't care.
Well, some would say that's even a worse curse to give on a movie. It's just something
maybe,
that is so...
maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Movies like this just don't excite me that much anyway.
Still looks better than Sonic.
Well, we haven't seen a moving trailer of that, but yeah, that... Oh, God, that's looking rough, It's looking real rough. Oh, man, I hope that they got time to fix that, because... Sonic fans, they're masochists for sure. You gotta be to be a Sonic fan, I'm sure. But I don't think they deserve that one. Not that one.
Shoot, not my day.
And so the last bit of news that I want to talk about this week is Resident Evil. Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil Remake, and Resident Evil 4, all coming to Nintendo Switch on May 21st. Now, that's great news. Caveat, though, is that they're super expensive, and that makes no sense. They are launching for $30 in the States each, or in Japan, 3,300 yen each. And then the Origins collection is coming out physically in some territories. And for example, in the US, most of our listeners are in the States, it's $60 there. That makes no freaking sense to me. Because when this collection launched on PS4, it was $40. Correct me if I'm wrong. Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 launched on the Switch for $40. And then they were on the eShop for $20 each. Why is this $60? Why are these $30? This is stupid. This is so stupid, and it goes against the precedent that they have already set for themselves. Not just my own opinion out of no freaking reason, And then even Dragon's Dogma, which is a Capcom game, that's coming out at $30. What are you doing with your pricing, Capcom?
I'm so disheartened by this entire situation.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
I mean, nobody would have expected that they would have put these games at what they priced it at. Because I can understand if this is a fresh remake, or if this is a first time that you are porting this over, but it's not. I checked the Sony PlayStation Store earlier this morning, and as of now, you can get Resident Evil 4 HD Remake and Resident Evil 0 for $20 a piece.
Yeah, that's what they should be launching at.
Exactly. And yes, okay, you could say, hey, it's just a $10 difference. It's not that much of a deal.
No!
I feel like it is a deal.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that Capcom has built up a lot of goodwill, especially when it comes to the Resident Evil series, not only with how they were able to reinvent everything with Resident Evil 7, but also the marvelous remake that is Resident Evil 2. I mean, that game is being praised right now for being one of the so far one of the best games of 2019.
Well, we're only 2 months into it, so I mean...
Yeah, exactly. I say in February, or March, I guess. Capcom has built up a lot of goodwill right now, and now they're just tumbling down.
Well, I don't think that this one thing is making them tumble down, but I do think it's just yet another thing that Capcom does that doesn't make frickin' sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever, especially in the games that they're choosing. The Remake and Resident Evil 0 came out at the same time. When this game launched, the people who were born that year are now officially old enough to play this game under the rating system.
Huh.
Both of those games came out 17 years ago.
Huh.
Resident Evil 4 came out for the GameCube originally 14 years ago.
Wait, 0 came out after the remake.
Maybe a couple months later, but no, they were like at the same time. Regardless, we're talking about over almost 2 decades old for these games, and they're charging more than what they've already made on other consoles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. Like, just it should be launched at the same price that it was launched at on other consoles.
Exactly, and just like you said, Revelations 1 and 2, more recent games that were ported over from the 3DS. Those were and still are $20 on the eShop.
Mm-hmm. Guess what? I bought Revelations 1 and 2. I am going to buy Dragon's Dogma. Guess what I'm not buying? These 3 games. Not until they go on a sweet discount, you know? $30, way too much for me to pay for games that I already own in other places and I just want to play on my Nintendo Switch portably.
And can I also just throw this out that I have already bought Resident Evil 4 5 different times.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
The game is good, though. I mean, like, it's a good game.
I bought it for the GameCube. I bought it for the PlayStation 2, the Wii. I got it again when it was on sale for the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. They have re-released this game so many different times.
Yeah, literally every time. That game is the quintessential resting on its laurels, living on its legacy kind of game.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, dare I say it, I think Resident Evil 4 is starting to feel a little bit dated. I'm just saying.
Well, I would be able to tell you after I played it. However, it's $30, so I'm not going to be playing it right now. Maybe come, whatever that's called, October, Halloween's.
Tell you what, we'll bust out the Wii and play the most superior version of the game.
I like the Wii version. I hope that this one has motion controls.
Yeah, I would like to see the Joy-Con with it.
The Wii version does make that game like trivially easy though, because you were not ever meant to have that precise of aim. Like everything is just super easy. I still enjoy my time with it.
Yeah, not gonna be enjoying it on the Switch though.
Not yet. So let's talk about some additional DLC. So Galen, what you got for additional DLC to recommend to all of our lovely listeners?
Well, I have discovered a YouTube artist by the name of With Ether. It is 2 gentlemen who do acoustic covers of just various songs, a lot of their original content, but also they cover a lot of video game tunes as well. The link that we have down in the description is actually their take on the Witcher 3 melody. Over this past week, I actually had jury duty that I had to go to, and I found myself, while waiting to be actually called in, listening to this, reading American Gods, and it really kind of synced up with me at that same time.
That's a nice combination.
Yeah, and I am absolutely in love with the sound of an acoustic guitar. So, yeah, no, I highly recommend listening to this. And it's great for study music, it's great for just hanging out, chilling out. It's a fantastic listen.
Cool. I love to listen to relaxing video game music while I work. So I'll be checking this out for sure.
Yeah, and their take on it gives a little bit of energy and excitement to it. So it is calming and it's soothing, but it still gets you energized at that same time. I liked it.
As for me, my additional DLC is a Kickstarter called Chained Echoes. I talked about this game several podcasts ago before they launched the Kickstarter. This game has been in development for over 2 years already, and it's looking fantastic. It is a 16-bit fantasy RPG with mechs and airships. It has just reached its Kickstarter goal. It's already coming to PC, Apple, and Linux. And then the reason that I'm mentioning it is because there's a lovely Nintendo Switch stretch goal. If you check out their Twitter or their official site or the Kickstarter, you see all of this really gorgeous, detailed pixel art, very interesting combat system that's turn-based. If you are a big fan of Super Nintendo or PlayStation era RPGs, JRPGs in particular, this is certainly for you. So please do check it out if you are some of my brethren. And remember, links for all of our DLC will be in the descriptions. Now let's go to some listener mail.
Listener mail.
If you have an email and you want to send it to us and we'll talk about it, you can send that email to NintendoEverythingPod@gmail.com.
That email again is NintendoEverythingPod@gmail.com.
And if you wrote us an email, it'll sound a little something like this. This week, Steven writes, Dear Angry Kong and Laughing Kong. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, you do laugh a lot.
Oh my god. Allow me to continue. With the release of Yoshi's Crafted World coming up, I've been thinking about all the mainline Yoshi games and how they vary in quality. I didn't like the Crafted World demo, and I'm hoping this doesn't turn into another Yoshi's Story situation. What's your favorite Yoshi game, and what do you think about the what do you think about the entries in the Yoshi series? Thank you, Steven.
Yeah, thanks, Steven.
I get what this guy's saying. I definitely understand. Yeah. Yoshi games have definitely gone up and down in quality. When Woolly's World came out, Woolly World came out on the Wii U, that was like a return to form for Yoshi. Like, Yoshi games had not been that good since Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. So, yeah, I get it for sure. I enjoyed the Crafted World demo, though. It did feel very simplistic. Like, I could see how somebody would, maybe be like, oh, this is for like the dumbest baby, the dumbest, tiniest baby. But I don't see it that way. It seems more like a relaxing experience for me. So I think I'm going to like Crafted World. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's my thoughts on the Yoshi series. I did like Yoshi's Story, though. I know it's not a good game in terms of design. You can go through like just a quarter of the frickin' stage and just be done with it. But I did like how even if you put self-imposed limitations on yourself to go throughout the level, you could go and find out these different areas.
Yeah.
Just the replayability of it was nice.
Yeah, and I mean, I will be completely honest, I've actually never been that big of a Yoshi game fan.
Oh, that's such
myself,
a shame.
Personally.
Yoshi's Island on the SNES is the best. It is like one of the best video games ever. It really is.
I would have to agree. I think that one, I don't think I played it on the SNES originally. I think that I played it when they did its remake. Was it for the DS or the Game Boy Advance? I can't remember.
Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I played it on the Game Boy Advance, and I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it as I would just any other fun game. It didn't like sell me as, oh, I love Yoshi games now. Like, other than that, I think my other favorite Yoshi game is like the original Yoshi, back for the NES.
Weird.
Yeah, that more calming approach to it, I just think it doesn't click with me on a personal level. When I play games, I like to personally be a little bit more challenged.
But the Yoshi's Island is super challenging.
Yeah, and I got that from the Yoshi's Island. I don't know, like some of the other ones, it's never been consistent enough to make me excited for future games in the franchise as much as I would other games.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Steven.
Yeah, thanks, Steven.
Remember, if you want to write us an email, send that to NintendoEverythingPod@gmail.com.
That email is NintendoEverythingPod@gmail.com.
Don't you do that to me. That's inappropriate. I see what you're doing. You can't pull the woolly world over my eyes. I'm ready for a nap.
I know you are. You snuggle up with your yarn Yoshi.
I got them. I got 3 of them. I got the 3 and then the Poochie.
Oh, you got the Poochie one?
Yeah, I did.
Did you get the really big one?
No, I would love to, but that sold out like immediately, and then now you can only find it from scalpers, so F that. So what's coming up? What's coming out on NintendoEverything.com? Obviously, so much more news than we could talk about in this very brief podcast. Check out our website, NintendoEverything.com. We have some exclusive Super Smash Bros. And Sakurai translations coming up. That should be out by the time this podcast airs. We also have some exclusive translations that we did for the Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. In this interview, devs talk about how they approached the remake and the new modes, so it's pretty interesting if you're a fan of the Mario Luigi series. Then of course we had the Oninaki translation, where the creative producer, Tokita Takahashi, who was the director of Chrono Trigger, how he became involved and his contributions and so much more. And then we also have the Remio lore review on our website as well. So lots of exclusive content coming out. We also have our official Twitter at NinEverything and the youtube.com/NinEverything, where you might be listening to this podcast right now. Oh, speaking of which, this podcast, I put it on a whole bunch of different other places over the week. It's on Stitcher, it's on Player FM, it's on some other stuff. I don't even know. Just look for it. It's everywhere you want it to be, except for SoundCloud. Sorry. they want to charge you extra money on SoundCloud, and it's like, I don't have that money yet. Mafia? SoundCloud Mafia? And if you want to talk to me about how great Super Nintendo JRPGs are, you can tweet at me. My Twitter is at Oni_Dino. Or if you want to look at the pictures that I upload, you can check out my Instagram. That is Oni__Dino. Galen, what about you?
As always, you can always follow my random ramblings, my random pictures, and just general randomness.
But can they do that always?
They can always find me at Mobius087 at Twitter.
At Twitter? No, it's
at the Twitter.
It's the other way around that it do. So as always, thank you so much for listening to the podcast, especially if you're here at the very end. That means that you are the best ones. You are our favorite ones. Don't tell the others, though.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to have favorites, but we do. It's all you guys hearing this right now.
You guys, you are truly the masters. Pokemon masters.
There you go, bringing it back. Full circle,
Yeah.
a lot of twists, gotta keep up, like M. Night Shyamalan.
Circle like a Pokeball. Oh.
Ah, yeah.
Doing my little dance.
Well, ending on a low note. If you haven't yet, please do consider clicking like and subscribe and giving us iTunes ratings and all that dumb stuff. Sharing this with your friends is actually the best thing. Your friends that would actually like to listen to two idiots talk about and BS about Pokemon and whatever else. We really appreciate your support in getting the podcast to grow. We're doing good. We're growing even more and more every single month, and it feels great. It feels really nice to know that people are enjoying the show.
I like that, yeah.
And anything that you want to hear us talk about or want to hear anything changed about the show, just let us know. Write in. This show is for you guys. And remember, for everything Nintendo,
Stay tuned to Nintendo Everything.
bye-bye.
Galen.